Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So, I'm outside. It's a really beautiful day, although it looks like we might get a little bit of rain, but I'm under a tent, so hopefully it won't impact anything. I don't expect this to be very long, but I did want to give you guys a little history and backstory about kombucha and some things that I will be working on. This is my patio. I'm pretty happy with it. I put it together recently. It is what it is. I've got my tomato plants and I have a whole bunch of herbs and some verbena going as well. I built a little fire pit out of an old grill, so that's pretty cool. I do have some neighbors that have some barky dogs, so she might bark here in a minute, but she is super sweet. They have a really beautiful garden and yard there. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little backstory on what it is that I am going to talk about. So I really want to, like I said, focus on, wild fermentations, wild cuisine, wild cultivations of all kinds. And, being in the spirits and beverage industry, obviously I love fermentation. So typically I deal with it on a alcoholic level, but fermentation of all kinds is absolutely fascinating and really, really, really wonderful for you. So I will preface all of this by saying that I am not here to give you any sort of, doctor recommendations, none of that. I'm just here to inform you, give you my opinion, let you know how I feel about things and why I believe that these types of practices and eating and food and beverages and all of that are really beneficial for us. So I posted a little thing about a cocktail I did, and it was absolutely fantastic. I can't even tell you. So, I bought this hum recently. So this is a beautiful little kombucha that is, I I just picked it up at a little, store on the way home one day, and it's really great. I really love kombucha, and we are going to, I'm gonna do some learning on how to make it as well. I'm gonna bring on a friend here pretty soon and talk to him and his partner about making kombucha. They do it all the time, and I'm gonna make my own. I've done it in the past, but I've always had a lot of help, so this time I'm gonna do it without any help. And by doing that, I'm going to learn from those around me, and that I have the ability to. It's this really amazing thing. Kombucha originated out of Asia. They say out of China, but then it was by a Korean physician named Dr. Kombu. If I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, I apologize dearly. But the basic premise is that you have tea, usually black tea or green tea, and you sweeten it and then you let it ferment, which means that you keep all of that tea mixture underneath of that wet, sugary liquid until basically it builds what's called a SCOBY. So, and these are microbacterial, and it's amazing because they're good for you. So all of this aids in your digestion. What I think is absolutely phenomenal is that we now know so much about the human body that we can help it do its job. So that means that the gut needs bacteria in order to digest and do all of its things. And these are the types of bacteria it needs. So when we take an antibiotic, we wipe those bacteria out of our gut. And it's very important, I believe, that we replace those and that we keep them strong and healthy all the time as well. So, and part of that is doing really awesome things like drinking kombucha, which is absolutely delicious. So this one's a pomegranate lemonade one, which means that they've taken a black tea, they sweetened it, and then they fermented it with some pomegranate and then lemon peels in there as well. So it's really lovely. Usually they are effervescent. They don't have to be, but they are really nice, and I really enjoy them when they are. So It is, tangy, sweet. Years ago, I got really into doing shrubs behind my bar, which is basically a drinking vinegar, and that's exactly what we've created here with the kombucha, except it's just not with tea. It's usually with fruits and herbs and those types of things, which is how you make vinegars. And then, but instead of making a vinegar, I would just ferment it with an already made vinegar, and all sorts of different kinds. And they're really awesome for balancing out cocktails. I still love them, and they're really great for making non-alcoholic drinks. So mix it with some soda water, things like that. It was just really lovely. So that's why I'm working with these kombuchas now in cocktails as well. We can do these so easily non-alcoholic. Kombucha can and does have the tendency to become an alcoholic drink, but it's easily preventable. So by slowing the fermentation process and cooling it down during the second fermentation, which we'll talk about and I can show you guys here in the future. But for today, I wanted to show you one super cool thing that I do have, which is this really awesome kombucha vessel. So this was made by a local artist. When I was working at Arbor, she did a lot of work with us, and she made a lot of bowls and dishes, and she does for restaurants all over Illinois and Wisconsin. And her name is Melissa, and I'm so sorry I can't remember her last name, but I will be sure to tag her and all of her beautiful work that she does. So we are going to be using this when we make our kombucha here soon. I do have a few different types of fermentation vessels that she gave to my partner, Chef Leonard, a little while ago as well. So, but beyond that, I wanted to tell you all to have a great day, have a good afternoon. Any questions or any comments or anything, please feel free and don't hesitate to send. Cheers, and I hope everybody has a great Monday. Bye.